All right. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. While Yahweh Shai, it's your brother IQAhmath. I acquire first name. IQ is all the same. Another DSTM, ready to rock. Calm down, IQ. Calm down. Trying to make sure that my sound is good. Checking myself. Um, we here. All praises, right? Um, you can see it, man. Tinseltown on fire. Everybody knows. Everybody's seen. Everybody knows what time it is. The hot topic is LA's on fire. The conspiracies are running wild of where, why, what, well, why and how. We're going to tackle all of the above, right? But the main thing is that the question is was this a planned attack? Is this an agenda driven situation, or is this judgment for the Most High? Ultimately, as believers and followers of the word of the Most High, we know that this is the work of the Lord. There's no question, right? However, being that the Most High is in control, the arm and the hand and the rod that he's using, i.e., the so-called white man, the vanity of his mind, he believes that he's in control and he's doing things that are going to help further his rulership on the earth. But he's being deceived in his own right? Because the Most High Yahweh is in control of it all. We should know that. We understand that. This is for those who are still questioning, scratching their head. This is for those who are condemning and talking against the Israelites, saying, how can you say God did that? Such and such lost their house. I've got family. This is a tragedy. This is terrible what happened. How could you guys blame God? God wouldn't do that. You don't know the Most High. You don't. And we're going to I'm gonna break this up in the two parts. You notice I said today is part one. Tomorrow we'll do part two because there's a lot to cover. And I don't want to do too much of repeating, but a lot, we're seeing a lot of things that's going on the news, and everybody's formulating their own opinions, everybody's doing their own research. I just want to keep it a straight shooter, right? And present some things that may not have been on your mind, may not have crossed your mind, may not have put two and two together. You may have, who knows? But in addition to that, of course, in DSTM fashion, we've got other stuff that we need to talk about as well. They're already doing I got to figure out how I can do it without them. The DVOC 91 measures is already happening in various countries right now. They doubling down. We got a number of different plagues jumping off. The aspect of AI and the robotics is moving in from everything to taxis to farming. Yeah, autonomous tractor trailers and the whole nine is moving on the farmland. They're getting ready to shut that whole industry down. We'll talk about that. But we're going to look at both aspects. We're going to talk about the fires. We're going to talk about everything that's going on. And all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, man, for the brothers and sisters that reached out, checking in on me and my family, checking in on the rest of the brothers and sisters of MOTC, making sure that we're okay, showing your concern and your love for for brothers and sisters out this way, man. The water to y'all, man. Love y'all. Appreciate you guys for having a concern, to check on us. Because unfortunately, fortunately and unfortunately, let's put it like that, man. Elder Aladad lives in Pasadena, has been there for 20 plus years, 25 years or more. I've got family that live in Altadena in Pasadena. So this kind of hit home, for us in particular. And one of the things is I wanted to try to get a testimony from him, but he's out of town. He's out the country handling some business, operation of the Most High, getting some things, taking care of his business or whatever, right? So he's out the country. Lord willing, when he returns, he'll give his own personal testimony. But in the meantime, he did send me some video. We got videos, we got some pictures, not ABC News type stuff, man. Boots on the ground, raw footage of what was happening over there, what went down. I got pictures of I got my cousin's house. Their house got destroyed and burned down. I'm gonna share those tomorrow, right? But I do want to touch on the fact of the impact that these fires had, how and why the Most High is making these particular judgments, all that's going to be included within the part one, part two, right? But I do want to touch on some other things as well. And we're going to get to it, man. Prayerfully, everybody's well, man. Shabbat shalom to my brother Shalak, Ashar, Uziel, the house of Bayan, my brother Kohath. There you go. All praises to Tobiah Yah. Shalom to you. And Hashemai, shalom to you, sis. And anyone else who's going to be joining in on the live. I know there's a lot of, camps have been going live. Everybody talking about the fire. So, I give all praises and the water to y'all for tuning in and hearing my voice tonight, because there's a lot of Israel that's all covering this, and it's all good. And it needs to be. It needs to be, because if we're talking about, I was watching a little bit about live earlier, and the brothers is covering it as well as they should be. And they, Ratazan, made a good point regarding him re-uploading a video that him and Iram did. This is years ago. This had to been maybe 7-8 years ago, 6 to 8 years ago. Brothers that did a video burning the flag, and making a statement regarding the afflictions that were happening at the time. At that time, it was heavy on the Sandra Blands, the Aaron Gardners, the Trayvon Martins, the destruction that our people were witnessing live and in color, on video, police cam, body cam footages of our people getting killed. So it was a statement, the brothers made. And, symbolically, the brother made a point that a couple of days after they re-uploaded that video and they showed the burning and the symbolization of America being judged by fire, I think they said California is the fourth largest economy in the world. Not in the U.S., in the world. Matter of fact, I don't want to say nothing that's off point. Let me make sure. Now they say, okay, let me share this with y'all real quick, because it is symbolic to the imminent destruction of America, right? Why not start by hitting them in the pockets? Okay. Now, this is the California governor's site. California remains the world's fifth largest economy. Top 5 in the world. This place generates money. Tinseltown, Hollyweird, right? This place was shown as an example to the rest of the world and to America that this place is going to get hit with flames, right? So in rare form, not necessarily in rare form, but in the righteous form, let's put it like that. Brothers put that video out, and then a couple of days later, here comes the flames. So that was a good point. Another thing that we do see is, if you notice now, and this is just Israel, when the proverbial ish hits the fan, that's when Israel wants to start trying to pay attention. When the war jumped off, Israel was, I'm talking about Israel in the world, and the stragglers and the individualites and everybody. Oh, they're tuning into the camps. Then they want to listen, right? Then now they want to hear, well, what's up with the war? What's up with COVID? What's up with this? Oh, you start noticing brothers' views jumping up. When it was Kyrie and Kanye, views jumping up, live attendances was high as hell for most camps. This is where you gotta, for brothers, it's like, look, you can't play with the Most High. Don't be dibbling and dabbling and trying to figure out if you're gonna commit, what you're gonna do, and I don't know. And then as soon as something big go down, oh shoot, yeah, I'm, all praises, I'm with you. Yeah, I got my fringes on. What's next, brother? No, you got to be already living it. You got to already be moving. You can't wait till all hell breaks loose and then you want to sit back and come join the fray. But the Most High said it's gonna go down like that. Hosea 5:15 says, I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face. So the Most High lets judgment reign on the earth, right? And he turns his face on us. He said that back in Deuteronomy, I believe it's 32 and 20 and 21. That he said he's going to turn his face and he's going to see what our end shall be. He's going to provoke us to jealousy with the no people. So as he does that, what ends up happening? In their affliction, they will seek me early. See, it always takes something happening before Israel wants to start seeking the Most High. Oh, yeah. I was always watching. I'm always listening. Trust me. I'm going on 31 years in this truth. All praise to the Most High. And one of the biggest testimonies, I've shared this before, and we've always talked about it because it's so real. 9/11, when that happened, man, our school was jam-packed, standing room only. And mind you, the school was like 2,500 square feet. So it was a nice space. Typically, any other Tuesday class would have had maybe 15 people, 20 on a good night. Slow light, maybe 10. 9/11 goes down. I mean, standing room only. Yeah, we had hundreds of people in there and people standing outside. And you're like, where y'all been at? Where all of a sudden now you oh yeah, brother, we've been listening. We hear y'all at the Mer Park. And yeah, I know. Come on, man. This has got to be a wake-up call for Israelites, man, especially the brothers that teaching, man. You got to strike while the iron's hot because now Israel's ears are open. Now they're seeing, now they're understanding. We're only in the 10th day of January, so-called 2025. And as we continually see things building up, like the scriptures say, as a woman in travail, in her 9th month of pregnancy, them birth pains hitting, boom, 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 boom. You got the earthquake in California. You got the plagues that's jumping off. You got the terrorist attacks that went down. You've got the fires. You got, toxic smog jumping off down in Florida and other areas. You got multiple wars jumping off. I mean, it's constantly going on. And we're just talking about 10 days into January. We've got 2 terrorist attacks. The largest, I think it's the 4th largest fire in California history. The largest fire in LA County history that decimated this place. And it's only 10 days in, man. We ain't even got to this, this inauguration of Agent Orange. That's a whole nother thing that we know that they got some things planned to jump out before then. So while these things are going on and Israel's being afflicted, they're going to try to seek the Most High. So brothers out there, there's teachers, striving to be teachers, you got to strike while the iron's hot, man. This ain't the time to sit on your hands and get lazy and slothful and doubtful and hope. No. The sheep is looking for shepherds. They're going to start looking around. They're going to start tuning in more. They're going to start questioning. The problem is that when things simmer down, they crawl back into their holes and they forget. Oh, we thought that was it. That's why the Most High won't declare a daytime or, for the end, because if it was declared, hey, 2027, December, Yahweh is coming back with the angels, the trumpet's going to blow, all eyes going to see, fire, brimstone, everything's coming down. Israel will wait until November 15th to repent. Still got some time. Yeah, I'm gonna get right, and use the thieves on the cross, the malfeasance on the cross. Hey, look, they, the one he seen paradise with Christ at the last second. I got time. You ain't got time to be playing games with the Lord. So we see what's happening. Our people is out there watching, looky-looing, but you can't play around, man, because the Most High is laying judgment on this place and throughout the earth. Europe is going through it economically. Europe is going through it with the they got their own migrant crisis going on. You see now here in America, I've been saying that the honeymoon's over economically. You know, the crypto boom is starting to dip down. Everything's dropping down. The stock market's dropping down. It ain't looking good. In other words, man. So now it's time to get on board. Now it is time to get on board. All right. So let's go ahead and get to the nitty gritty, as they say. Okay. I'm gonna cover some of these other current event issues, and then we're gonna jump into um, the elements of the fires. Right? Is this a planned attack or is this from the Most High? Now, let's look at some of the things that's happening with this virus that's going on. China. We talked about it last week. New plague hitting in China, man. They got the hospitals is jam packed. They masked up. They saying it's flashbacks in 2019. You know, the C-19 thing. Oh, flashbacks is happening. And just like back then, they're downplaying it. No. It's not from the lab. No. It's because we was eating too many bats. Yeah, bat soup. Remember that? Yeah, no worry. It's okay. Before you know it, all hell and broke loose, right? And who was coming off of their presidency at that time? Yes, you guessed it. Agent Orange, the chump, the 45th of that time, right? Here he goes. Now here we doubling back again. Nothing new under the sun. So China's downplaying this mystery virus, deaths and claims safe to travel despite pandemic fears. Oh, it's safe to travel. Go on over there and get you some bat soup there, huh? You ready? You trust them? Good luck with that. Funerals are reportedly being performed in mass as deaths mount from the mystery condition 5 years after the first cases of the vid were detected. So flashbacks, here they go, downplaying it. It ain't nothing. But meanwhile, people out here getting smitten with this plague. And that's all from the Lord, man. All from the Most High. Let's go to Ephesians, the 4th chapter. And let's read verse 14. It says, that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine. See, that's one thing too. Within the Israelite community, man, there's doctrines galore. There's this COINTELPRO agents in there, man. I mean, there's one video. It's an undercover. This guy was an undercover informant. I wish I could remember his name. And if anybody knows which one I'm talking about as I describe it, put it in the chat. But this was a brother. He got recruited. I think he was going to school. They recruited him out of parking lot. CIA. They used him as COINTELPRO to infiltrate Black Panther movements from California to New York. He said, man, when they took him in, they educated him on the doctrines and everything else. They had access to information and books that the damn Black Panthers and them didn't have. This guy was involved in the watch before they had I believe they had the watch riots. They burned down the bookstore. He's seen that. He's seen murders. He's seen all kind of stuff going. I can't remember this guy's name. It's on YouTube. Let me see if I can find this guy, man. Not William O'Neill, no. This guy was like a damn William O'Neill. Shoot. Give me overnight. I'm gonna find it. Like I said, I'm gonna do part 2 tomorrow. I'm gonna find that video. This guy was a cold piece of work, but nonetheless, I say that to say that not William O'Neill. So like, there's another Perry Darthard. Let me see. Yeah, Ashar, you on point. There you go. See, there you go. My archivist, man, that dude be on it. There you go. Perry Darthard. If y'all get an opportunity, go on YouTube, watch this. FBI informant Darthard Perry describes his time as a FBI informant. There's multiple videos on him. Looking like the largest one got 861,000 views, but multiple re-uploads of it. This dude goes deep, and he gives understanding regarding. And why am I saying this? Because when we're talking about the scripture saying being tossed and fro with every wind of doctrine, man, a lot of times there be a lot of these doctrines, man, that come into the fold, and it be straight up BS. I'm gonna just be real. It's divisive. Some of these things are divisive. I have no doubt that there's Judas goats within the Israelite community. There's informers within the Israelite community. I mean, it goes without saying, any so-called movement with power that involves blacks and Hispanics, Esau wants in, and he damn sure is gonna make sure that he got some agents within it. And that's what ends up happening. So when you have a firm doctrine that you stand on, and number one is fearing the Most High and keeping the commandments, your breakdown or your understanding regarding Revelation 18 and 16, that ain't the keys to getting to the kingdom. The dark sayings about the withered fig tree. That ain't gonna get you into the kingdom. All right. But how much you fear the Most High, how disciplined you are in keeping the commandment, these things are things of utmost importance, right? But the scriptures go about to tell us not to get carried away with every wind of doctrine by the sleight of men, because there is a high influence of man worship, men pleasing, camp worshiping, the whole nine, that turns into damn near cult-like behavior within Israel. And it's dangerous if you're not careful, right? That we henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro, carried about with every wind of doctrine. So you got to have a mature mind in this truth, a sincere mind, one that's willing to stand 10 toes down no matter what, and not just be following the crowd, and not just thinking this is a trend, and not just thinking, oh, something cool. Oh, my cousin's into it, so I'm going to go follow him or her. That ain't how this thing works. So we can't get caught about with every wind of doctrine, every little conspiracy that flies out there. No. Stay rooted to what the word says. And if it's prophetic and if it lines up with the scriptures, then we follow along with it. If it doesn't, toss it out. Continuing on, this is about a sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. But speaking the truth in love may grow up into him in all things, which is the head, even the Mashiach. So there are those that are out there waiting to deceive. Cunning craftiness, man. This ain't the first time we've seen this type of craftiness go on. The first go around, our people really got seduced and got twisted. Our people was rolling up their sleeves in mass. Our people was fighting with each other because you can't come over to the house if you ain't got that mask on. Oh, all your little folly days got canceled. People was lining up in lines at food banks because shortages was jumping off, couldn't get into the store, 6 feet, all this other stuff, loss of job, removed out of the quote unquote military because you refused to comply. You can't breathe because you got a cloth on your face all day. And then when it's all said and done, now everybody is talking about that was bullish. I can't believe it. They got me. I'm so mad I took it. I'm still sick right now. And blah, blah, blah. And they getting ready to do it again. You seen Peter Hotez? He said it. January 21st, man. They got a slew of things they ready to let loose, right? And they use the same old game plan, man. That's why it's so crazy that people don't wake up and see the same thing, man. It's coming from China. The bird flu thing, they got that thing floating around, but people ain't really buying into that too much. They're cautious of it. They're aware of it, but they don't know what is it because if I eat chicken, will I get it? If I eat an egg, will I? Oh, it's just hitting the animals. Oh, so it's not hitting the humans. Oh, one person. Okay, I'm not tripping. That's why they said. That's why Peter Hotel says, "Oh, don't trip. We got Marburg. We got Zika. We got disease X. Yeah, we got plenty. Don't worry. We're gonna hit you niggas with one of them, and you're gonna wake up then, right? And remember Bill Gates? He said, "Hey, the next one's gonna get everybody's attention." Like what's the name of that? I forget it. I ain't gonna bring that reference up. Let's look at Psalm 78. What's the name of that dog that used to laugh with a wheeze? Muttley. That's Bill Gates. Psalm 78. We're gonna reverse. Let's get right to it. We're gonna read 49 to 50. This is how the Most High, judged Egypt. When the children of Israel were being held in bondage in Egypt, Moses continued in going and pleading to Pharaoh, saying, "Let my people go that they may worship the Most High." And the Most High kept hardening the heart of Pharaoh so that he could constantly show more and more of his power and his dominance over their false gods, all of their netures, and all of the little idol deities that they had, and all the mythros that they was following. The Most High said, "No, that's not enough. They ain't convinced. Harden his heart against I hit him with some more and some more and some more." That's exactly what America's doing. The chump, he running around still thinking he's gonna make America great again. He's talking about buying up, talking about he want to buy Greenland and transform Canada into being part of America and turning Mexico into the Gulf of America. And I mean, this dude is out of control, and he's got to be trolling because he can't do any stuff he's talking about. But he's clearly lost his mind. He's damn near 80, and he's over here rambling, talking crazy too. But look how the Most High deals. Psalm 78:49. He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath and indignation and trouble by sending evil angels among them. Oh, I thought all the angels was good. I thought they all had wings and little babies. And no, the Most High has, and we'll talk about that tomorrow. How the Most High sends these angels out here to destroy, right? To bring forth his judgment. Like Sirach 39 says, there's be spirits that be created for vengeance, and one of them being fire and pestilence, teeth of wild beasts. That's how our Father works. That's how our power works. Verse 50, he made a way to his anger. He spared not their soul from death, but gave their life over to the pestilence. So that's one of the weapons that the Most High uses. He's going to use pestilence. So whether it's pandemic, whether it really doesn't matter, because that's one of the forms of judgment that the Most High is going to put out. Pestilence. These diseases, these plagues. And the white man, in his vanity, he's constantly running wild with it, taking full advantage of the extension of time that he's getting. We're going to get right to the point in Baruch, chapter 2. And we're going to drop down and we're just going to read 25. We're going to get right to the point. It says, "And lo, they are cast out of the heat of the day and to the frost of the night. And they died in great miseries by famine, by sword, and by pestilence." See, that's what happened to the children of Israel being judged while we was in Babylon, right? Matter of fact, let me move up so we can get it right to the point. Verse 22. Let's start at 21. "Thus saith the Lord, bow down your shoulders to serve the king of Babylon. So shall you remain in the land that I gave unto your fathers. But if you will not hear the voice of the Lord to serve the king of Babylon, I will cause to cease out of the cities of Judah." Yeah, because the children of Israel had to serve their punishment. I believe we had 70 years in Babylon. So the Lord said, you're going to serve your punishment. And if you don't, because some Israel try to run to Egypt and try to escape, and no, they all got judged at the end all be all. Right? Verse 23 again. It says, "I will cause to cease out of the cities of Judah and from without Jerusalem the voice of mirth, and the voice of joy, and the voice of the bridegroom, and the voice of the bride, and the whole land shall be desolate of inhabitants. So yeah, we got removed up out of our land. All the good times, all the fun times, all that's over with right now. Back then, as it is right now. You know, me and my son were just talking about earlier. He said that he seen an interview, um, black family from out of Altadena, and they was talking about. No, he actually don't quote me on that. He said he couldn't remember if they was in Palisades or they was Altadena. 9 times out of 10, they wasn't in Palisades. Palisades is 98% Esau / heathens. There might be there's a couple of sprinkles in there. Uh, I know they said Kawhi Leonard for the Clippers. He got a house over there, I think. So you know, there might be a small smattering of Jake over there. Very minimal. But nonetheless, family lost their whole house, right? They had a picture before of them decking out the house with all their damn Christmas, you know, paraphernalia all over the house and everything else. The next picture they showed, the whole house burned down except for the chimney. So their last memory is keeping a pagan festival in the name of honoring and worshiping Saturnalia, and they lost it all over their father, right? Now this is what happens when we're in Babylon. The Most High said, yeah, okay, but we would not hearken unto thy voice to serve the king of Babylon. Therefore hast thou made good the words that thou spakest by thy servants and prophets, namely that the bones of our kings and the bones of our fathers should be taken out of their place. So yeah, Jeremiah 8 talks about how the bones of our ancestors were removed and taken out of their burials and sepulchres. The histories are being destroyed. This is why, you know, the Kemet community, where's the bones of Moses? Where are the bones of? Y'all don't have no history. There's no archaeology for it. The scriptures already covered that. That was prophecy due to our captivities and disobedience. That our prophets and our kings, great men, bones and archaeologies will be removed. Verse 25. And lo, they are cast out of the heat of the day and to the frost of the night. Isn't that what's going on right now? Out here, it was the heat of the day, literally, for the past 3 days and some. As the heat, I mean, the fires is only 7%, 8% contained in most areas, still spreading and still moving. That's the heat of the day. During the daytime and in the frost of the night, they're talking about this is a polar winter. The states that are getting, that get cold and get snow or whatnot are experiencing great cold weather right now. Bayan, what's the weather like out there right now? What's the weather in the deep? Let me find out. Go outside in the frost of the night. You tell me it's nice outside. You say that, man, I'm gonna boot you up off the live. Is it the frost of the night? You tell me, right? And what happened? And they died in great miseries by famine, by sword, and by pestilence. So, you know, we're going to see the incoming pestilences that's going to come by, famine. You know, that's one thing with these fires too, man. Majority of those people, man, were not prepared at all. Even though they were told, you know, high winds is coming, dangerous, blah, 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 the power line, they didn't give it that. But when everything went down, power goes out. So people are already stressing that they have no power. So they were going to lose a lot of the food. A couple of the grocery stores that they had up in Altadena, I'm speaking about Altadena, where, you know, Altadena is kind of divided. It's, I think, to the west is Jake's, to the east is Esau, and you know, but there's a substantial amount of so-called black folks and a smattering of Hispanics that live up in Altadena. So they had a grocery store, Aldi's. Aldi's got destroyed. There's a number of different things that got destroyed, right? I'll talk about it more tomorrow. But anyway, when the power goes out, people ain't prepared. They're scrambling around to go find groceries. They're scrambling around to go find gas The gas, obviously with the power down, people can't get to the pumps. The pumps is down, right? And this is why we talk about faith indeed, no question. But the scriptures say faith without works is dead. You have to have things prepared. You have to be ready. The scriptures always talk about prepare thyself for the search of thy fathers. Watch and pray. Joseph in his preparation. I mean, there's plenty of instances that the Lord tells us, get prepared. Prepare us what thou shalt say to the Lord when you come to him. In the book of Sirach. The Most High is definitely pro preparedness, but nobody's saying put your whole faith into your preps. All I'm saying is that it's good to make sure you got some things on hand, because after this particular instance, that's why I wish Allah died was here. It's okay. When he comes back, he'll give you real testimony. But I'm telling you, our people are not prepared when things really hit the fan and the next thing blows. That 2 Ezra 15 about people going to the neighbor's house and taking the food for want of bread, and men being scared because of the plague that's happening and sedition going on, and all that is real. And you just got a small little snippet of it out here within the last couple of days. Pestilence is kicking in, all of the above, right? So deception is in high play right now, and they're going to utilize these plagues to do it. So let's continue. You said it's cold as hell, 16 degrees. Oh, it's supposed to be 25. Damn, you missing out on a whole 9 degrees, man. That's gonna warm you up at 25. Man, I couldn't do it, bro. I couldn't do it. I mean, I could do it if I had to, but good Lord. So that's the frost of the night for sure, right? Patients who've been struck down by the virus ravaging China describe horrific symptoms, worst I've ever felt. Now, this particular virus, let me back it up. In China, now Moab is downplaying it. He don't want to start a whole little outbreak. It's too late for that. You did that before. They're saying, oh, it's not that bad. Come down. No, right? This particular virus is called HMPV. Now they're calling it mysterious, right? But at the same time, there are people who have similar symptoms of what people are describing in China. Now, people that have already had it, they said this is the worst they've ever felt. Detailing her ordeal, she said, I couldn't get out more than a couple of words. This woman that had it, she could barely speak because she gets a coughing. It's like a whooping cough type thing. She says she could barely get a couple words out. I would go into violent coughing to the point where I was literally almost throwing up. Following further tests and swabs of her nose and throat, doctors discovered the lawyer actually had HMPV. Ms. Davidson said, I was like, what? Because it sounds really dire. HMPV, which some doctors describe as the, quote, most important virus you've never heard of. This is why they're saying it's mysterious. Here's another one. Is this disease X? Is this something that, they have been exposing to everybody? Doctors know about it, but they said ain't nobody else talking about it, right? Nobody's putting this out there. HMPV, the most important virus you never heard of, has been blamed for a viral outbreak in China that is reportedly overwhelming hospitals in the country's northern provinces. Yeah, but Moab says there's no problem. Everything's fine. Beijing has downplayed footage of overcrowded waiting rooms and wards post on social media saying respiratory infections are, quote, less severe and smaller in scale compared to last year. Right. Okay. Let's move on. Americans say a mysterious fog with the chemical smell is making them sick just minutes after exposure. Now, this is interesting. Chemical smell in the fog, right? People across the U.S. are reporting a mysterious fog with a, quote, chemical smell that they believe is making them sick within minutes of exposure. Reports of the unnatural fog began late December in parts of Texas, Wisconsin, Iowa, Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, North Dakota, Florida, and Minnesota. Locals have flooded social media with videos explaining the symptoms since the fog appeared in the area, which have included coughing, sore throat, congestion, eye irritation, lethargy, loss of appetite, and gut issues. Now, we talked about that last week too, right? The fog was going on, and you said, "Well, what is it? That's there can't be, that's conspiracy." Okay, maybe y'all have never heard of this. I brought this out years ago as well, but it's in the 50s. There was a thing called Operation Sea Spray. Operation Sea Spray. Now, let's look at the Smithsonian magazine. I guess that would be more respected than Wikipedia. Let's look at Smithsonian. In 1950, the U.S. released a bioweapon in San Francisco. Hello. We talked about Avon, Florida before, with them releasing bioweapons and mosquitoes with yellow fever, and they dropped it on Jake's in Avon, Florida, and in I believe in Savannah, Georgia, diseasing and killing Jakes. This was carried out by the Army, mind you. The one in Avon, Florida. Now we're seeing here, they released a bioweapon in San Francisco. This is one of the hundreds of bioweapon simulations carried out in the 50s and the 60s. They gave STDs in Guatemala in the 50s and 60s. Esau was doing heavy biowarfare on people in the 50s and the 60s, man, let alone, MK Ultra and everything else, right? Now, look at this real quick. The bacterium, what is it? Serratia marcescens lives in soil and water and is best known for its ability to produce bright red pigment. This flashy trait makes this particular microbe useful in experiments because it is so bright it's easy to see where it is. And in 1950, the U.S. military harnessed that power in a large-scale biowarfare test. Oh, this is only a test. Writes Rebecca Creston on her blog, Body Horrors for Scientific American. Beginning on September 26, 1950, the crew of the U.S. Navy minesweeper ship spent 6 days spraying Serratia marcescens into the air. Hello? Notice the chemtrails? And they say, oh, no, that's conspiracy. Chemtrails, come on. That's just the what are they talking about, the damn frost from the exhaust from the planes? Appreciate that, my brother. Cabraza, y'all. Water. Appreciate that. All praises. Look at this. They talk about the chemtrails as being conspiracy, right? But they've been spraying since the 50s the air with disease. And you see the aluminum and the barium salts and everything else coming from the chemtrails that's getting onto the food that the animals is eating, and cancer rates going up and all this other stuff. Like, oh, you're being paranoid. You're tripping. Really? Not when we can double back and we can see it. It's not above the realms of possibility that they had let something out, because they did it before. And if the scriptures say never trust thy enemies, hey, I don't trust you that you're not doing this. No, trust us. This is safe. We're not doing that. That's even crazy. What fog? You sound crazy. Oh, really? All right, let's read this again. Beginning September 26, 1950, U.S. Navy minesweeper ship spent 6 days. 6 days of labor, huh? Rested on the 7th? Okay. Spraying Serratia marcescens into the air about 2 miles off the Northern California coast. The project was called Operation Sea Spray, and its aim was to determine the susceptibility of a big city like San Francisco to a bioweapon attack by terrorists. Who's the terrorists? If they're actually doing it. And they can say, well, We just wanted to see if a bioweapon attack hit San Francisco, how it will work out. So we're going to pretend we're terrorists. We're going to spray you. We're going to spray you down with lethal, bacterial. I mean, this dude. And then when we call the white man the devil, and we say all this, call him out for his evils and everything else, man, we're wrong. We're the hate group. We're the ones who got a problem. We're the ones who's twisting the scriptures. We're not teaching how to love. Listen to this. In the following days, the military took samples at 43 sites to track the bacteria spread and found that it had quickly infested not only in the city but surrounding suburbs as well. During the test, residents of these areas have inhaled millions of bacterial spores. Clearly, their tests show San Francisco and cities with similar size and topography could face germ warfare threats. In this regard, the experiment was a success. Oh, isn't that great? A success. They sprayed and sprayed chemicals over in St. Louis in the 50s, in the 40s. I can't remember the headline, but look at it. Get Fox News. Let them tell it. Army secret chemical testing in St. Louis neighborhoods during the Cold War, raising new concerns. Need I go on? Again, in the mid-50s, and again a decade later, the Army used motorized blowers atop a low-income housing. Who lives in those places? The Army used motorized blowers atop a low-income housing high-rise at schools and from the backs of station wagons to send a potentially dangerous compound into the already hazy air in the predominantly black areas of St. Louis. And we're supposed to forget about that. We're supposed to just brush that off and move that in the past, man. But did you see how diabolical this cat is, man? They was putting this. It's Friday Night Lights. Cover your ears if you got a problem with a little profanity, right? They was spraying this shit out of station wagon tailpipes, rolling through neighborhoods. And the Jake, obviously, you don't think, man, there's a lot of smoke coming out that tailpipe, man. What's up with it? And a lot of these people, man, got cancer. They all got jacked up. I mean, where's the reparations for that? Motorized blowers. Blowing it at the schools where Jakes was at, infecting the kids, going to the projects, blasting Jakes with disease, all in the name of biowarfare experimentation. And now here we're talking about chemical smells coming out of fog, and people are getting immediately sick. And it's just happenstance, it's coincidence. If you believe that, man, I still got some more land that's available on Mars. I'm selling dirt cheap. I mean, you got to holler at Elon to get on the SpaceX. I ain't got to hook up on that, but I get you the land dirt cheap, man. Send me your Cash App information, and you know you can send me the bread, and yeah, you'll be fine. I mean, come on. This is definitely going down. First U.S. bird flu death reported in Louisiana patients. The patient in Louisiana died. Of course, they're going to spread this like wildfire, man. Hey, look, the first death. Uh-oh. All it took was Gavin Newsom, man. All he'd already said is a state of emergency in California for what happened over there for one person. Guy was 65, had underlying medical conditions in the whole nine, and they're going to basically try to turn this into a whole hype and hysteria. You already know what time it is. Oh, and as all of these bugs just floating around, everything's happening. Oh, guess what? Costco got to recall some cold medicines of fears of contamination. So we got to remove the medicines. If you got them, we got to remove those out so you can stay sick. If if you're using those things, using those particular medicines. Unbelievable, man. I mean, this dude is the devil for real. So the plagues is out. People looking for medicine, man. They go to Costco to get the medicine. They say, "Oh, take that back. It's recall on that, man. You might die if you take that." Costco has urgently recalled cold and flu medicine, citing a quote potential foreign material contamination accidentally shipped across the U.S. So, cold medicine contamination, all these food recalls. You see the pattern? Resources and things that you're gonna need, food shortages, famines. They're taking this the food and the resources and things that you need out of the stores amid quote unquote recalls. You're seeing all of the story, the big stories in what was it, 2019, 2020, 2021, food plants all catching on fire. See, inflation goes up, prices go up. Now it's you're killing yourself just to live. The retailer, let's continue. The retailer released a statement warning consumers who had bought Kirkland's signature severe cold and flu plus congestion medication from stores in the Midwest and Southeast of the country. Out of an abundance of caution, L&K has initiated a recall for the accidental release and shipment of a specific lot code that was rejected due to potential foreign material contamination. And it's a good thing they did that because they love you. You know. They spread the germs, man. They let the plagues out. Then you go run trying to find some damn cold and flu congestion meds, and it's contaminated. Well, what are you gonna do for the people that already been taking the stuff? Oh, they probably gonna come out with some more stuff. Oh, hold on. Sick of it. Norovirus can spread via clothes, as expert warns it can survive an entire month in most conditions. Yeah, look at it. Norovirus. What are those? This is like the stomach flu. Now they're saying this is on. They managed to have this thing attach and mutate on clothes for months. And I think what was it, in our chat group? Shalaka sent a video about these Edomites, man, and that trend is back. I think they did it about a year or so ago about them not washing themselves and hygiene. And I'm talking about, yeah, they only take showers once a week and twice a week. And one Edomite said he got 2 towels and he washes them maybe like once a month. I mean, madness. So, you want to hang around white folks, man. They ain't washing their clothes. They ain't washing themselves. And then you wonder why all these damn diseases are drug resistant and popping up all over the place. So here they saying the norovirus is get on your clothes. Right? So yeah, as you're at Ross and Marshalls and at the malls and you picking out clothes and you could be touching some stuff, man. You go home and next thing you know, you're throwing up diarrhea, you're nauseous, you got a headache, hot temper. You don't know where you got it from because you've been strolling around rummaging through clothes. Somebody else ain't got some stuff. They touching on the clothes. I mean, it's madness out there, man. But he's turning up the heat. The so-called white man, he said, I'm coming with the diseases in 2025. Bet that. So, the gauntlet of plague is open season. The Most High is giving them the authority to go do it. Norovirus can linger on your clothes for up to a month, an expert has warned. Other fabric-lined items like chairs, pillows, and curtains can also hold on to the norovirus bug. I mean, it's ain't nothing to safe right now, man. Let's move on. Look, major country reintroduces strict COVID rules as mystery new Chinese virus spread. So here we go again. Here we go again. They've got major countries in India. I believe is the one of the ones that's out here, reinstituting the vid rules because of what's popping up out of China. So just get prepared. It's only a matter of time before they spread it this way, right? We already seen last week, the hospitals are already reinstituting the mask laws. I mean, the mask mandates, you know, California now, especially because of the fires, man. You know, people's running around with masks like a mug now. I'm like, oh, it's that time again. Just because, and it's valid because of the smoke, the ash, especially if you're in them areas, Pasadena, Altadena, Malibu, Calabasas, all that. Yeah, but you know, us in the city, we smell the smoke. The ash, matter of fact, it's still ash kind of floating around here today. But the smoke smell is pretty much gone. But yeah, I'm seeing people with masks, rags around they tied up. You know, they already prepping themselves, man. So when they double down and be like, "Hey, this new plague is here. You're gonna have to go ahead on and keep that mask on." They're gonna say, "Oh, well, I already been wearing it. Why not?" You know. Now look at this. This I found interesting too. Horrific AI images reveal what men will look like in 30 years due to an ultra processed food diet. Now look at this. Now, of course, you see Esau, man. His skin's all jacked up, fat as hell, you know, bloated like a mug. He's holding an asthma inhaler, which means he's gonna have a respiratory issues. Skin all jacked up. He look like a damn fat zombie. And they saying this is what the average man is gonna look like in 30 years because of the food. Ultra processed food diet. You know, we talked about it last week about taking care of our meat and diet or whatnot. You know, because he's poisoning every damn thing, man. That's why it's important. You know, as much as we can, we try to stay in alignment with the dietary laws. You know, the Christian community and you know the rest of the religious zealots through their denominations are just want to live off of faith and grace and we can eat what we want, the law of liberty and this, that, and the third, right? Meanwhile, if you don't have a disciplined diet, that's what the law is there for, to help us be more disciplined with our diet do's and don'ts, to give us lengthier lives. It's important. Nowadays, you know, shit, Esau's he's processing every damn thing because he's destroying everything. You know, he's manipulating the FDA is manipulating the word organic. You know, when you buy stuff that they quote unquote is organic, you know, it just means that it could have grown in an open area. I mean, they got all kind of games that they playing, but the seed is GMO. I mean, Whole Foods got busted years ago, defrauding people, claiming things were organic and they wasn't. So we're in a pickle, man. I mean, Mark 16, when Yahweh told us, man, that we're going to eat poison or drink poison and live and handle serpents and all that. I mean, we really got to be in the faith because he damn sure is poisoning everything that he can. And to the best of our ability, we try to number one stay in line with the dietary laws of Leviticus 11 and Deuteronomy 14. But you know, try to be mindful of your diet when you're checking them labels and ingredients and what's really going into your body or not. You know, can't catch everything, man. He's manipulating all different kind of names, and that's why it's important, especially when you're dealing with the Passover and removing 11. You know, we've done extensive, you know, research to the best of our ability and knowledge, and the team of brothers and sisters. You know, we always come up with a comprehensive list of what we find. If we can update it every year, we try to. But for the most part, it ain't just no yeast. There's so many things with leavening agents in them and vinegars and things of that nature that causing things to rise and that can defile you during the time of Passover. You can't be simple and just think, oh, as long as I don't eat bread and crackers, I'm straight. No, you playing with the devil, man. He's switching up names, chemicals, sodium phosphates, and all. You got to watch all of them things during that time. Baking sodas, uh, baking powders, all of them things. You got to monitor, and that's why those same principles and them same disciplinary researches that you can do when you are watching your diet and watching what you eat, and when you're going and you're buying, you know, particular foods or whatnot. You know, check them labels if you can. Like I said, ain't nobody gonna be perfect in the world that's crooked and wicked as hell. But try, unless you want to look like him. Yeah. So like you said, some of them they looking like that now. That's a fact. Yeah. Ross out be getting on Jake's. He loves. What sometimes when we chilling after the Sabbath, something like that. We used to have a little time. We might watch some old soul trains or whatnot. He'll be like, "Look at them. You don't see one fat person over here. Everybody's in shape. That's how it was in the '70s. That's how it was." And da da da. In the '60s, because everybody, number one, the food was a lot more pure than it is now. But back then, everybody was active. Everybody was either walking, roller skating, they was doing something. Now, if you transition from the body shapes and the forms and the health of how it's turned into what it is now, I mean, good Lord, it's all bad now. And Esau says, well, hey, don't worry about it. Get fat and get grotesque. Just get on Ozempic. Get on Ozempic, man, and you can lose weight like that. Meanwhile, it does other health issues to you on the back end. Everybody wants a magic diet pill and everything else. But look at this. I don't want to go on a rant on that. Too late. I already did. But Proverbs 23, 1-3 says, when thou sittest to eat with the ruler, consider diligently what is before thee. Did you hear that? We're already sitting at the seat of the ruler, man. Esau is the one who's serving up the food, importing, exporting. We don't own the grocery stores. We don't own the mom and pop shops. Everybody's getting their stuff from our oppressor. That's the scriptures. The curse said that we're going to have to go to him for one of all things. Food, drink, clothing. Deuteronomy was at 28 and was it 48? I believe. And then one of all things, let me see that real quick. Deuteronomy 28. Yeah. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which Yahweh shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness, in hunger and in thirst, and in want of all things. He shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. So yeah, we're sitting and eating amongst our ruler, or a person of power and influences over us, man. We got a damn Pharaoh named Chump about to sit on the throne in another 11 days or 10 days. Slow Biden is already, dragging this, soiled diaper butt up out of here. But it said, consider diligently what's before us. What's he serving up to us to eat? So you got to consider it diligently. And put a knife to thy throat if thou be a man given to an appetite. Meaning you can't be the one who's eating everything. Don't give a damn. I ain't checking nothing. You got to have discipline. You got to be able to stop yourself from eating something that may not be good for you. That's his personal discipline with dieting and so forth and so on, let alone if we're not diligently considering what's being put forward for us to eat. Sometimes you got to cut it off. That's part of coming into the dietary law. Oh, I can't eat shrimp, crab, lobster. I can't eat swine no more. I can't eat them chitlins. And yeah, put a knife to that throat. That's over with. Now you're coming into a more righteous diet, right? Now it says, be not desirous of his dainties, for they are deceitful meats. Yeah, because he's making stuff, the cheap stuff more affordable, the stuff that's more processed and all jacked up, We're all susceptible to it. But we got to make sure that we're trying to balance it out. If you have, everybody ain't got the money to buy all pure organic and grow your own. Everybody ain't got a garden and this, that, and the third. Everybody ain't got the skills to do it. Gardening and farming, that's hard work. Hard work. At our old congregation, we had a garden. I used to go out there tilling the garden every week. It's hard work. And reaping the benefits is great. But at the same time, it's work. Everybody ain't got it like that. So you do what you can to get what you can. But if you are eating things that are susceptible to jacking your health up, guess what? You're gonna have to make sure that you supplementing with some good, some good herbs, some good supplemental, vitamins and essentials, cleansing out when you need to, because you can't keep piling on, and then you never really cleaning out, getting rid of the scrap. You wonder why you ain't took a dump in 3 days, because full of all kind of madness, processed stuff, right? Sirach 30 and 25. A cheerful and good heart will have a care of his meat and diet. So if you don't want to turn into looking like this guy, man, and look like a character from Wally. You remember that movie Wally? For those that got kids, you'll know what I'm talking about. If they came up in the early 2000s, where's that at? Wally. It's like a post-industrial world that the Earth's been destroyed, global warming and all this other stuff. The Earth is all defiled, and they got these robots that's just set to clean up the Earth, and the humans are living on like a space satellite or something, and they all eating and they all fat as hell, eating and playing video games and watching TV. The fat humans. Yeah, you can see him on what's the name? See, look at it. Is this art imitating life or what? Now they saying, look, if we're here another 30 years, this is what they plan on everybody looking like. That's what AI says. Based upon AI's assessment of the food, the diet, and what they're putting out there for people to eat. Look at them. Big gulp cups glued to a screen. What's everybody doing right now? Everybody's locked into the blue screen time with the phones, with the tablets, with the streaming. Look at it. This is it. Leave it to AI, man. That's where people's headed, man. But that was interesting to me. All right. But let's move on. I want to get to some more stuff. Cheese recalled over potentially deadly listeria in 5 states. Urgent warning. So another recall. I mean, what's going on? Again, we're talking about the processed foods, let alone, man, all of this listeria contaminations. Are they just doing this to create food scarcities? Or are they just this irresponsible when it comes down to the manufacturing of the food? More than likely, it's a combination of both. You know what I'm saying? So this particular cheese is called Wicklow Gold Cheddar Cheeses. Wicklow, W-I-C-K, low gold cheddar cheeses. So if you got any of that in your house, get rid of it. Listeria warnings has been recalled. And interesting, Wicklows too close to Wicked to me. You dig what I'm saying? But they selling them out of Costco again. No, not Costco. What's the name of that store? The article that may mention the stores that they're in too, but nonetheless, another food recall. Listeria gone wild, man. Let's move on. Now, this is part one I want to talk about real quick. Here we are talking about LA wildfires deliberately started to turn Los Angeles into a smart city by 2028. Bizarre claim. Services. Now, before we talk about this, right, let's cover some groundwork. So we know, number one, it's not some conspiracy. It's not something. This is the Lord. The Most High is the one who's doing this. Okay. Now, Amos 3 and 6. Shall the trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and Yahweh have not done it? Surely Yahweh will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. So if you're not in tune with the prophecies and understanding how the Lord works, you will be deceived in thinking, oh, this is just global warming. Oh, it's because of the power lines. Oh, it's because of arson. No, it's because the Most High made this thing happen. Man. Don't get it twisted. Okay. How do we know that? Proverbs 16, verse 4. It says, The Most High Yahweh have made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. So at the time when anybody might think this was an evil work, this is a tragedy, this, that, the third, guess who's behind it? The Most High. The Most High said everything he does for himself, even the wicked for the day of evil. Right? Isaiah 10. Now, this is what makes it interesting because the Most High is chess playing. He's utilizing individuals to make this happen. He utilizes nations. So look at this in Isaiah 10, 5 and 6. It says, O Assyrian, the rod of my anger and the staff in their hand is mine indignation. So the Assyrians were being used as the whipping stick and the indignational wrath of the Most High against the children of Israel. So when the Most High uses these nations as he's using Esau right now, it's for his judgment. It's because he wants to put forth the rod of his anger. Here we are in Tinseltown, man. This is the place where illusions, witchcraft, sodomy, the transformer community is running wild. You know, the oppression of the blacks, Native Americans, and Hispanics is heavy, right? The elements of deceit that come up out of this place. Again, this is the 5th largest economy in the world. This place right here helps the great whore, i.e. Babylon, spiritual Egypt, spiritual Sodom, helps this engine push. Without California, America's got some problems, but they need California. This is one of the legs that it stands on. So now we're seeing why the Most High is raining havoc on this place, is wreaking havoc on this place, from earthquakes up north last month to fires down south 2 days ago. What did he say? I will send him against a hypocritical nation and against the people of my wrath, and I will give him charge to take the spoil and to take the prey and to tread them down like the mire of the streets. So when the Most High utilizes these nations as whipping sticks against our people, this is what it is. See, the problem is that the so-called white man takes that and thinks that he now is in control. He thinks that he's going to be, remember, he said he's going to be like the Most High. This is the vanity that dwells within him. This is why the Most High said he's going to destroy him. What was it? In Amos, I think it's Amos 1, where he said, the 3 transgressions of Edom, and for the 4th, he's going to take him out. Like, that's when Esau had gone too far. Look at Psalms 49:11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations, that they call their lands after their own name. So they're constantly thinking about colonization. They're always thinking about trying to, dictate policy and take over things. This is why the white man needs to be dethroned and taken out of power, because he now has lost his damn mind. He thinks he is the Most High, and the Most High is like, man, I'm only using you as a whipping stick against my people to make them repent. Once they repent, it's all over with. And Esau saying, no, I'm getting power from Satan now. I'm taking over. Not knowing Satan is under the Most High's control, according to Job 1 and 6. So that's out of here. So what does the so-called white man do? Daniel 8 and 25. And through his policy also, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart. So this is talking about Antiochus Epiphanes IV, but at the same time, this is how the so-called white man operate. Antiochus Epiphanes, he tried to, institute a NWO, a new world, you know what, right? In First Maccabees 1 and 41, he said everybody's going to be one people, speak the same language, and all become like the Greeks. And they wanted the Jakes to sacrifice swine's flesh. Y'all know the history of the dedication. So he's causing craft to prosper in his hand, magnifying himself in his heart. See, in his mind, the so-called white man magnifies himself. He gloats about his power, his control, his policies, his democracies, his weaponry, his fiscal policy, all this stuff, man. And then he goes and signs in these weird, foul policies to try to magnify his control over the earth, like an Agenda 2030. I did a lesson on that last year. Double back and you find it. I don't remember the name, what we titled it, but Agenda 2030 we talked about. And it's real. This is what he's doing. Because there's plenty of things that happen within his fire that he could have averted, could have, had a more prompt response, could have been more wise with how they, utilize the money. Everybody knows about what's going on with the insurance companies and they follies, and then you wonder why the CEO and the president of Universal Healthcare got domed in the back of the head because of their policies, allegedly, with a lack of medical coverages on surgeries and determining things not medically necessary, and them not wanting to cover anesthesias and that people may need. So we're seeing what's going on here. So he's going to magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. Yeah, because Antiochus, he died of a flesh-eating disease. He died of a flesh-eating disease, right? So he didn't die in war or anything like that. Micah 2:1. Now they say this is a bizarre claim that, is this a smart city? LA wildfires deliberately started to turn Los Angeles into a smart city by 2028. It was deliberately started by the Most High, yes. Is the so-called white man going to try to capitalize on that? Can he? Because he's already has a agenda for a, quote, smart city by 2028? Yeah. But they said that's bizarre. It's just a bizarre claim, But what's his nature? Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields, and they take them by violence in houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. A lot of those people, man, in Altadena, especially the black folks up there, have been living in those areas 50, 60 years. This is one of the last areas where there is, upper middle class, so-called black folks that had generationally been able to pass down their properties, that didn't give them up, that were able to hold on to their their properties over the years. And now that's all gone. People 70, 80, 90 years old, man. Got to start over. That ain't happening. And that place up there looks like a wasteland. There is no rebuilding that. So let's look at this. No, hold on. Did you see the title? LA's Smart City Strategy. They said this is a bizarre claim that LA is trying to establish a smart city. Unless they're saying that the bizarre claim is that there was a deliberate fire that got started. There's already reports that there's been arson. They've been catching people lighting the fires. So there has been arson reasonings that's happened, but the one in Altadena happened because of the power line. And it was one that one of the breakers went popped in the mountains and caught fire, and the winds get to blowing. It just so happens when the winds is blowing, all of a sudden the breaker gets loose. Meanwhile, they had plenty of time to shut the power down while it was windy. I mean, the winds was kicking 80, 90, some places 100 miles an hour. The precautions wasn't taken care of. But anyway, we know that by 2028, this is where they want the Olympics to go down. They want to create the smart cities. We talked about the 15-minute cities. We talked about the QR codes, the accesses into certain places, the technologies, the cameras. They want it all. But they need to be able to establish a building of this place. They can't just transform what's already there. So let's see.
Hi, my name is Ted Ross, Chief Information Officer at the City of Los Angeles. As you know, we live in...
fair use, by the way. Fair use is for commentary and teaching on the subject matter.
in a world full of urban challenges, from traffic congestion that takes our time and pollutes our environment, to natural disasters that threaten the safety of our communities. To address these challenges, Los Angeles looks to smart city technology that can positively transform our urban environment. While not a silver bullet, technology provides solutions that were previously unavailable to the generations who lived before us. It is technology that enables transparency in our policing.
Yeah, right. Except for what's the brother that got beat to death over there in New York? Damn, why is that brother? Ashar, help me out. Damn, y'all know who I'm talking about. Throw the name in the chat. I completely forgot the brother's name. Apologize to the family, but damn, what's that brother's name? Cooper? Was it Cooper? Parker? It'll come to me.
And gives a powerful voice to our diverse communities. It's technology that innovates alternative energy sources to reduce pollution and limit our carbon footprint. And it is technology that provides ultra-high-speed internet connectivity for LA residents and businesses to do amazing things. Technology enables the city of LA to efficiently and ethically improve the quality of life for our residents, businesses, and visitors. In other words, when done right, technology makes us smarter. That's why the city of Los Angeles...
It said technology makes us smarter. I beg to disagree. Technology makes us dumber, right? You know, in my era, you had to write down phone numbers. You had a Rolodex. You had a black book. You had to memorize, you know, streets and landmarks when you're driving somewhere. There was no the water like Robert Brooks. There you go, Robert Brooks. You know, they talking about the damn body cams. When they turn them off, when they say they ain't working, when they turn off the sound, the transparency has not worked. That's bull. What happened with the sister, man, that you know went to go rebuke the cop in the name of Jesus and got shot down? After they went and told her put the pot down, she go to put the pot down. They go shoot her dead. I forgot that sister's name. I mean, it's so bad, man, that the damn trauma and the hell that our people are going through, you can't even remember all the names of the people, man. It's unbelievable, right? But here they are talking about smart cities. Like I said, he's talking about technology makes us smart. No, the tech only helps us, gives us a cheat code on certain things. We was way smarter, man, when you had to remember phone numbers. You had to remember names, directions, the whole nine, right? Nowadays, you ain't got to remember nothing. Crystal ball in your pocket, man. All you got to do is ask it. White woman going to tell you where it is, where you're going. AI now is already advanced up to that. Ask it anything, it's going to get you answers. It's talking back to you now. They got the Gemini AI that's having conversations and doing. They're in your house. They're turning on your lights. They're turning on your heat. They're turning on the damn air conditioner for you. Your refrigerator's telling you when the damn milk is low. Dishwasher's listening to you. The cookies in the boxes trying to tell you what you want to buy and selling your advertisements on TV. I mean, give me a damn break about how much smarter it's making us.
Hi. And it is technology that provides ultra-high-speed internet connectivity for LA residents and businesses to do amazing things. Technology enables the city of LA to efficiently and ethically improve the quality of life for our residents, businesses, and visitors. In other words, when done right, technology makes us smarter. That's why the city of Los Angeles strives to be a smart city. And there's never been a more important time for Los Angeles to be smart than now.
Right? The whole city of Los Angeles. He ain't talking about some small little area, right? LA's got millions of residents. And they trying to transform this place piece by piece. They need to do it into creating a quote unquote smart city, right?
As we prepare to host the world in the 2028 Summer Olympics and Paralympics.
So they got 3 years to knock it down. They're trying to get to these 2028 Olympics.
Technology has transformed almost every facet of our lives. According to the Pew, in managing traffic, planning our communities, engaging our constituencies, and protecting our residents. Through the coordination of both existing and emerging smart city technologies, we are positioned to transform the way we live, work, and move around LA. In LA, we believe smart cities are much more than software you purchase or sensors that you install in the cityscape. A smart city is an integrated, intelligent, urban ecosystem comprised of multiple ingredients that must work together for the benefit of the public. This would include, first, smart city infrastructure. This is the physical technology used to deliver smart city technologies, such as Department of Transportation's ATSAC traffic management system, which uses 4,500.
But did you see the grid? They want everything, everything intertwined with each other. This infrastructure from your house, everything they want locked into a particular grid. The car, the washing machine, the camera, your desktop, microwave, you name it. Everything's going to be intertwined with smart technology, right? And they want the whole city based upon that. Now, for time's sake, I'm just going to stop it there. It's like a 5-minute, 18-minute video. You can look it up yourself. LA Smart City Strategy, Smart LA by 2028, right? And you say, well, how are they going to do that? They just can't transform the whole city into. This is the vanity of the so-called white man. This is how he utilizes, the judgment of the Most High, everything that goes on, and him being the rod and the indignation of the Most High, him going above and beyond. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick. Him going above and beyond the call of duty, trying to establish himself as a god and bypassing the authority of judgment, how the Most High lays it down. Zechariah, I think it's in 1 and 15. And no. Is it? I think it's Amos. Maybe Amos. Amos. Yeah, here we go. Amos 1 and 11. It says, "Thus saith Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof." See, 3 is also a number of completion. Now it says he's already completed. He's out of transgressions, right? He's out of iniquities. He's out of offenses. Now the 4th one is when he goes above and beyond his authoritative rule over us. He tries to establish himself as a God. He thinks he's going to go above the Most High. Thinks he can go to war with the Lord. The Lord said, "You going that far? Okay." So when we see him trying to establish himself, saying, "Oh, well, I'm gonna get a smart city. I'm doing this. I'm gonna do that." Oh, really? 3 punishments. Okay, it's like for 3 transgressions Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. So because of his evils that he constantly commits against the children of Israel and refuses to let up, refuses to have pity, the Most High said that's why he's got to get destroyed. He's got to be wiped off the map, right? So they're saying, oh, this is a bizarre claim about a smart city by 2028. We just seen it. LA Smart City Strategy 2028. They do have it. They're trying to do it. Now, the question is, how do they get it established? You got Palisades, Malibu, these particular areas are prime real estate in California. Multi-million-dollar homes. Slocky. Real quick. Multi-million-dollar homes by the beach, thousands and thousands of acres available, right? Prime real estate, because when they reestablish, they rebuild it up. These are the prime areas that they can go ahead on and capitalize on those who can afford to get back into them cities. Now you got the affluent areas up in, in northern Pasadena, Altadena, so forth and so on, right? They're going to get at that land because here's the deal. You got people, we already seen the insurance companies is backing down. They already, cut off people from the fire coverages and all of that. Some insurance companies have already left. The ones that do remain, they're going to go bankrupt because of how much money they're going to pay out from the commercial real estate, the businesses and all of that, to homes, to cars, you name it, they're going to go bankrupt. Then you say, okay, well, if people get the money, they get the bread, right? Are they going to be able to rebuild their homes on the land that they own? Well, guess what? Time is going to be elapsing. They're still going to have to pay property taxes on this land. They're going to have to get rezoned to build on that land again, to get the permits and all of that. You're talking 2-3 years before they're able to do anything with their homes. Are people going to sit back and wait with that money? Or are they going to bounce and go out of state and do what they need to do? Or are people going to say, no, that's my land, I want to build back on there, I'll wait? Guess what? Look at this. And in my other video that I did regarding Agenda 2030, there's a concept called, but there's a law actually that's called eminent domain. So what happens is if you don't play fair, you don't play nice, how the government wants you to do, they're going to come take your land. And then they're going to establish it for themselves. Look at this, eminent domain, meaning and types. What is eminent domain? Eminent domain is the power of the government to take private property and put it to public use, i.e. a smart city. They can take it if they want to. Only thing they got to do is offer you money for it. Hey, your land is only worth this much right now, blah, blah, blah. We're going to give you fair compensation because we need this land now because we need to put this to public use. They did it to brothers and sisters, man, in the 80s when they built the 105 freeway. For those of y'all in LA that was come up in that era, there's a freeway called the 105 freeway. They had to build that up, but in order to do so, they had to tear down a number of houses in South Central in order to make the freeway. So in the name of trying to reduce traffic, remember at the beginning of that video, the guy was talking about how they need to reduce traffic and all of that. I think they just got to saying California is like in the top 5 of worst traffic in the world or in the country, I believe. They might be top 3 worst traffic. So all they got to do is we need to rebuild some. We're going to make some new freeway accesses, or we're going to get a new train to come through, and it's going to be smart based, and then we're going to build a little city and community around it. And they have to they're going to justify it with a reason, and they're going to pay people out. Oh, the insurance didn't cover your house. Oh, you didn't get that payout. Guess what? What do you say we buy your land from you? We'll give you a couple $100,000. We'll give you you're gonna say a couple $100,000. My house was worth $2.5 million. What's his name? Mel Gibson. His house burned down. $15.4 million house gone. Right? Paris Hilton. She had a damn vacation home somewhere. She got bread. Hashima, you remember that? Okay, there you go. So when they built that, that's eminent domain. They paid brothers and sisters off. They took their homes, bulldozed them down. They built the 105 freeway. Jake took the money and ran out to Palmdale and Lancaster and other places out of state or whatever. I don't know what everybody did, but they for sure got rid of Jake's, gave him some money and told him beat it. They're going to do the same thing in Altadena. They're going to do the same thing in Malibu. All them other places, man. Because the insurance companies ain't gonna pay out. And these people gonna be sitting back saying, I need some money. Well, guess what? Eminent domain will kick in. It says this is a practice that occurs in the United States and in many different countries under different names. It may not seem fair to the owners of the property, but eminent domain lawsuits, especially when the owner feels they are not justly compensated, are fairly common. Eminent domain is the right of a government like the United States to seize property. That sounds like force. They covered fields. Remember that? Taken by violence. But here they go. We're going to seize it from you, but we're going to pay you for it. We're taking it. We'll just negotiate how much money we're going to give you for it. Following fair compensation, everything from airspace, land, and contract rights to intellectual property is subject to eminent domain if a case can be made for its public use. The only time it's not right is when somebody's not fairly compensated. Other than that, they coming to get it. So bizarre, hey, you tell me. Here we go. Look. Like a good neighbor. State Farm is slammed for cutting coverage from thousands weeks before the LA fire. Ironic, huh? LA plans a curfew. National Guard support the crackdown on looting in fire-ravaged areas. Yeah, they got the National Guard is up there in Altadena. They blocking off all the streets. It's restricted over there in Palisades. There are troops on the streets. You understand? And this was so cold, man. When the scriptures say that the iniquity is going to abound in love and many shall wax cold and all that, Allah died and witnessed cats casing his neighborhood, looking to loot houses of people who have been evacuated and fled. A truck with 4 or 5 cats in it, man, with the hoods and the mask on, looking like it's they still got, the vid is flying around, but they looking to go flock some houses. While people is just trying to, get their life and save their life and get up out of there. It was cats already. As the damn fires is going down, as people they're already running in there trying to steal and loot people's houses. So, they're out there looting, they ravaging the houses. This is what you can already expect. Let the earthquake hit. Listen, people is going to be committing themselves to the worst of crimes, trying to make it come up. So they're saying over 20 arrests have been happening over looting the last few days. They got the National Guard out. They're blocking all the streets. You can't even get up. If them white folks trying to get up there in Palisades, it's a miles long line of cars trying to get back to their homes. They can't go. They got to go through police checkpoints. They got to have IDs to prove that it's there, that they live there, all that other stuff. And they need a police escort to go back up into their homes, Yeah, pretty much it is theft, Shalak, but they saying fair robbery is with exchange because they're going to give you some money, but it's filed either way. But I just let you know, man, you really don't own nothing in this place. Because at any particular time, if they got the need to seize, in other words, take what's yours, and they just give you some money and say, here, it's mine now. That's wicked as hell. But this is land of the free, home of the brave, all the other stuff, man. Freedom, freedom, freedom. What? I can't tell. When they can take, I got a list of executive orders, man, that Esau can break out, but they can seize everything. I'm gonna go into that another time. They can take every damn thing. Ain't nothing yours, ain't nothing sacred, man. They got executive orders lined up, ready to go in the case of a quote unquote emergency. What wildfires mean for America's home insurance bills. You may live hundreds of thousands of miles away, but the wildfires tearing across LA and other natural disasters stand to raise your home insurance bill. Did you hear that? It ain't just for California. All the other states with insurance companies are taking note because guess what? Midwest, you're getting tornadoes. Down south, you're getting hurricanes. You're getting, various storms and all of that. And they're taking note. And they're saying, oh, well, we're going to have to raise up our premiums because the coverages of these quote unquote disasters are continually happening, and they're using California and other places as breeding grounds to justify them raising up your home insurance bill. California's already on deck, man. They're already about to boot. They said, man, they're about to raise people home insurance by 50% or a little less. So if you already paying whatever $200 a month or more for your home insurance, expect to add on another $100 to that a month, as an example. You know what I'm saying? So look, this thing is disgustingly wicked. They're going to use these wildfires, man, to start to price people out of their homes and everything else, because guess what? They got an agenda they're trying to accomplish. You may live hundreds of thousands of miles away, but what's happening out here could affect your insurance bill. The wildfires are estimated to have caused insured losses as much as 20 billion or more. Hurricanes Milton and Helene inflicted insurance losses approach 50 billion. Yeah, and FEMA's broke. Remember, FEMA couldn't even help the people down in North Carolina, in them sundown towns and all that. Them inbred Edomites out there, they ain't got no bread. Yeah, you're right, Jason. Just like Hawaii. So they got people over here that FEMA ain't helping. I mean, they talking about, I think they said 40,000 people got evacuated. How many lost their homes? I don't know. I don't even know the number. The numbers continually changing. There's already damn near 80,000 people that's homeless in California as it is. So add another, this is just LA County. 80,000. Now you're adding another 40,000 homeless. You're talking about 120,000 people technically homeless. And that's not even talking about people that's roommating, people that's living in their vans and in their cars and all that other stuff. You're talking about tent cities and people chilling out there. Now you got another 40,000 people who ain't got nothing, and FEMA ain't coming to the rescue. An insurance company says, well, the only thing we can do is charge you more when you get another house. And if you got a house, we charge you up too, if we decide to cover what happens. Now, good old slow Biden, man, he threw us a bone. He had a press conference, man. This goofy ass dude said somebody had lost their house. He acknowledged that, and he said, yeah, says the house burned down, but the good news is I'm a granddad now. My grandson got born today, and everybody, they still had to grin and smile as people, lost their homes and the whole night. He want to talk about how he's granddad, man. See, that's why the Most High said that for 4 transgressions, you have to get rid of Esau, man, because without any mercy, without any, he just sit back and acknowledges himself. The vanity of the white man is just disgusting. He somehow made it about him, right? But good thing that forked tongue of his slipped up, because look, they've been talking about the fire hydrants running on low water pressure and running out of water and this, that, and the third. It says, but look at this. Biden let slip the real reason LA fire hydrants were dry when flames began, as Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass clinged to their jobs. Slow Biden claimed that Los Angeles fire hydrants hadn't run dry because of a water shortage, but due to power being cut to water pumps because of the killer wildfires. The power got cut to the water pumps. And guess what? In Pasadena, they were trying to encourage the residents there to stop watering their homes to protect them from the fires, because they were affecting the water pressure of the fire hydrants. So they were blaming the residents, saying that the water shortage and the pressure was because people were watering their homes down. So again, they blame it on the people. Oh, don't water your house. Don't try to save your house. Meanwhile, Slow Biden said, no, it wasn't because of the water. Y'all cut the power off, remember? And they like, Joe, shut up, goddamn. Finally, you the one time you tell the truth, you're not supposed to be blabbing that off. They had a Santa Ynez water reservoir in Palisades. Had over 100 million gallons of water that could have been used, but oops, it was drained because it was going under maintenance. had some issues with the covering. They had to repair the cover. Also, they had to drain it out, and next thing you know, weeks later, here comes the fires. Very interesting. Slow Biden says they cut the power on the water pumps. That's why the the water shortages went down. Right. Uh, so kudos to Slow Biden for finally telling the truth before he goes to sit down. Remember I talked about the Edomite man over there at the Trump Tower that blew up the Tesla. I said they keep making excuses for him, but Jake, he's a terrorist number one. ISIS blew up everybody, ran down the streets of New Orleans. Now all of a sudden you start seeing these particular headlines. Why are publications sugarcoating Liversburger's political manifestos? Yeah, I'm not. I guess I wasn't the only one who noticed that. They're sitting back. Oh, because of his divorce. Oh, at least he took a bulletproof Tesla. He wasn't trying to kill anybody. This guy was a famed Green Beret. Leave him alone. No, this wasn't terror. This was emotional distress. Give me a break. Give me a break. And if you've seen the live I did last weekend, last DSCM about his thing was it had something to do with the drones and preventing World War III. And he wanted to, he tried to make himself a martyr to bring attention to his manifesto through the email about the technology of the drones and China, tempting the U.S. and all that other stuff. But who gives a damn? Thing is when it's the white man does it, oh, we got to make excuses for him. Brother does it, oh, he's the worst thing on earth. When they both did the same damn thing, right? Let's move on. Meta ends fact checking on Facebook, Instagram, and free speech pitch. Mark Zuckerberg's been running around trying to act like the good guy now. Now he's popping out saying, "Oh, we're done fact checking on Facebook. We're done with the governmental control, man. The Democrats, the demo crips, punked us into joining the set, and I want to give everybody the chance to go back and have fun on Facebook again, and you're not going to be regulated anymore." That's because the chump done leaned on him, and basically he's bowing down and kissing the ring. So now Facebook is free speech. Do what you want to do. After all them years they talking about Meta / Facebook. Oh, it's a free platform. It's yours, and this, and the third. And then he came out and said, "Yeah, you know what? When it came down to that laptop situation, the government told us cancel any pages, and his site, Instagram, they were all government controlled. Now he's saying, "Oh, we're done with that." Really? Because now he's working for Agent Orange. Give me a break. Meta scrambles to delete its own AI accounts after backlash intensifies. Yeah, so they had the bots on there, fake accounts. They cloned my account at one point in time. I'm sure everybody that's been on Facebook that has some bots and some foul madness going on there, man. Scamming and all kind of foolishness going on over there. Fake posts and bots, and especially they infiltrated the Israelite community doing that madness. So now they're trying to delete him. He's trying to clean it up now. But yeah, who cares? A couple more, and then we'll close out. Farmers not required. Did you hear that? Farmers not required. Now remember, they just got through getting the final little piece of the budget to save their farms because of the prices of everything going up. They talking about getting rid of the migrants, who's going to do all of the work in the fields, right? The farmers have been complaining about them being damn near going out of business for a minute. And guess who bought up all the farmland? Bill Gates, largest owner of farmland in America, right? And he's pro recycling poop in the water. He's pro GMO. He's pro Roundup. He's pro AI. He's pro vax. Now the farmers is in trouble. Look at this. John Deere unveils a lineup of autonomous tractors and other work vehicles. Quartz reports that John Deere is doubling down on its commitment to autonomous technology. The company, which first introduced a driverless tractor in 2022, believes that self-driving machines will play a crucial role in the future of farming and help alleviate the industry's perceived ongoing labor challenges. Yeah, that's right. You won't need them poor little migrants over there slaving in your fields any longer. You're not gonna need that family owned farm anymore, because guess what? The robots and the autonomous AI driverless tractors and plows and hoes and everything, they're going to take over everything. They're going to manufacture the food. They're going to pump out the GMO based Franken foods and corner the market off. And the generational farms will be bye-bye. Remember they paid out them Jakes $1 billion settlements, and meanwhile all they was doing was giving the money right back because they had all them loans and everything else they had to pay off. So before Jake loses his farm, guess what? They're gonna have the automated systems come in. So Esau is moving heavily on trying to get rid of and take over this land even more. That's Agenda 2030. That's eminent domain. That's the smart tech cities and everything else taking over. That's controlling the food, water, the air, everything, through technology now. Look, Uber and Lyft will roll out robo taxis this year, but there's a problem. There ain't no real problem. The problem is they're saying, earning public trust, tackling challenges like vandalism, complex traffic situations, and adverse weather. They'll get over that. The public already trusts technology. The public is looking to go viral as they go sitting in the back seat of a driverless taxi and saying, look, it's turning. Look, it's doing this. Oh, this is so cool. But people is already enthused about getting involved with this. So the side hustles that Jakes was trying to get and people out there trying to get as their second and third jobs, that's going to be replaced soon too, with Uber and Lyft moving towards robo taxis who don't get tired, who don't mind picking up people who's partying and wilding out in the back seat and throwing up and everything. They don't give a damn. The robo taxi is going to roll out and take you wherever because you're not getting no feedback. They won't say no. And it's going to keep going. And they ain't got to pay or compensate anybody, especially after, remember, California, they all of the I forgot what they call them, but basically like people that work for Uber, Lyft, and all that, they made them almost like hired staff where they had to pay them a minimum wage and everything else. It wasn't just solely like based upon hustling and what do you call it? Begins with a C. I can't remember the name. But anyway, you're hustling and you're breaking bread with your total sum of money that you make. It's right on top of my tongue with a C. Can't remember. But anyway, that's where we're headed. All right. That earthquake in Tibet, 126 people got killed, 7.1. That happened on January 7th. Wasn't that the same day as the fires out here? So the Most High is heavy at work, man. Here we are just in the 10th day of January 2025, as they say. Nepal, India, Bhutan, 7.1 earthquake, Tibet, their quote unquote holy city, got smashed on by the Most High. Indonesia, they now are joining the BRICS. Look at this. Indonesia, this is why it's big, because America, the dollar's in trouble. The stock market's failing. They're running around talking about sanctions on Russia. Ukraine got the bright idea of cutting off gas to Europe, thinking it's going to hurt the pockets of Russia. But Putin is laughing. Indonesia became the 10th full member of the International BRICS Group of Developing Economics on Monday. The announcement was made by Brazil, a founding member of the bloc and the holder of the rotating presidency for 2025. The Brazilian government welcomes Indonesia's entry into the BRICS, it said in the statement. Now look at this. With the largest population and economy in Southeast Asia, Indonesia shares with other members of commitment to reforming global governance institutions and contributes positively to deepening South to South cooperation. So Indonesia has the largest population and economy in Southeast Asia. That now has become an enemy of America. This is the battle between the East and the West. It's the battle for the ultimate supremacy amongst the so-called white man and all of his constituents, leading up to this economic warfare world, economic war, which is going to lead to a physical war, which is already bubbling. But they've added on Indonesia. That's big and bad for America. Bracing for Trump, Mexico aims to roll out a panic app for Mexican nationals being deported. So the Mexican government is getting slick. They're giving a panic app on people's phones that they're to be alerted if ICE is after them, and they can go to the nearest Mexican consulate to try to get some amnesty to back them up off of them. So it's going to be a big cat and mouse game between the so-called migrants, ICE, and the Border Patrol and everybody else. Look at it. The so-called panic button app to be fully rolled out this month would allow citizens to alert officials at the nearest Mexican consulate, as well as previously selected family members, of enforcement action targeting them. Questions remain about how the app will work and when it will become widely available. It will be simple to use and designed to be utilized if someone is facing, quote, imminent detention, De La Fuente said. Some immigration lawyers in Texas have launched a similar initiative, albeit on a smaller scale, and it has proved an effective tool, the foreign minister said. If someone is detained independent of their migratory status, the most important thing is that the consulate is notified, said De La Fuente. This guarantees that the consulate is advised and we can make a quick reaction. So the battle for the border, the battle for citizenship, the battle for, the chump trying to kick Jakes out and all of that, Mexico's fighting back. That's why he's doubling down, talking about, well, guess what? Well, I'll just double down and buy Mexico and turn Mexico into the Mexican Gulf, and you'll become a part of America. But what he's saying is, if you remember back in, had to been early 2000s, may have been late 90s, where they were trying to already combine Canada, Mexico, and America into one, and they called it what were they calling that? And that's what he's kind of echoing right now. What did they call it back in the day? Shoot, I can't remember the name of it, but it was a trade agreement, and it was some sort of pipeline. What was it? Oh, NAFTA. There you go. It was a NAFTA pipeline they was trying to make. United States Mexico Canada agreement entered into the 4th of July 1st, 2020. USMCA, which substitute North American Free Trade Agreement, is mutually beneficial win for North American workers, farmers, ranchers, businesses. Yeah, it was something like that, but they was talking about that back in the 90s, isn't it? But they couldn't get it done because I remember what's his name. Yeah, Yamal. Yeah, they was talking about making the Amero. You know exactly what I'm talking about. They were talking about making a Amero that was gonna be the currency that could be used between the three countries. Yeah, look into NAFTA, because now you're hearing the chump. He's echoing these things. He's trolling, but he's talking about it in the same way that they were talking about doing it back in the day. That's right. That's right. Under George Bush Senior, baby Bush, Following up. That's right. See, y'all know what you're talking about, man. Y'all know what y'all talking about. Let me play this last little video, man, before I sign off, man. We get to part 2 tomorrow.
Law, fugitives cannot legally purchase or possess guns.
Now, this is let me back it up. Make sure y'all can hear it. No longer conspiracy theory. Former FBI Deputy Director David Bowditch says Barack Obama's DOJ, the Department of Justice, forced the deletion of 500,000 fugitives, many pedophiles, from the National Instant Criminal Background Check System. For years, fact checkers have wrote articles debunking it. So, in other words, under the Obama administration, they took off 500,000 fugitives, many of them pedophiles. They removed them from instant criminal background checks, basically made them look like they was innocent Boy Scouts, man, nothing wrong with them. Released them back into the world without notice. And you know they went to work. You know they went to work with their criminality. Thanks to good old Bush. Good old Obama.
It's my understanding that under federal law, fugitives cannot legally purchase or possess guns. We've heard from local law enforcement that the Justice Department has issued a memo that forced the FBI NICS background check database to drop more than 500,000 names of fugitives with outstanding arrest warrants, because it was uncertain whether those fugitives had fled across state lines. Mr. Bowditch, can you describe why this determination was made by the Justice Department?
Yes, ma'am. That was a decision that was made under the previous administration. It was the Department of Justice's Office of Legal Counsel that reviewed the law and believed that it needed to be interpreted so that if someone was a fugitive in a state, there had to be indications that they had crossed state lines. Otherwise, they were not known to be a fugitive under the law and the way it was interpreted.
So Obama let loose 500,000 fugitives and pedophiles, and they said, listen, we can't stop them. We can't do nothing. They can buy guns. They can do whatever they need to do unless we can prove they cross state lines. If we can't, we got to let them go. So they can continue on going out with their reign of terror, man, raping kids and doing everything else. This place is wicked as hell, man. Then you wonder why this place got to be destroyed. You wonder why what's going on here and the fiery judgment of the Most High is happening to this place. Yeah. Brothers on it. Brothers on the Amero, one currency for the Americans under Bush. Yeah, for sure. We was looking at that back in the late 90s, early 2000s. We was like, oh, there it goes. One world currency. Like, this is pre-crypto, everything else, man. We was looking at one particular currency being used amongst the three countries that was trying to use the NAFTA trade agreement in the pipeline to merge all three countries together to make this whole conglomerate. But, the Most already said this is all Babylon, from America, Canada, the Caribbean islands, South and Central America. This is all Babylon, period. Right? It's just been colonized by the so-called white man, but a French, British, Dutch, Portuguese, they all came over here with the same goal in mind. Right? But I'm going to close out there. Right? Part 2 tomorrow, Lord willing. Tap in. Got some more to discuss regarding these fires, the judgment of the Most High. I got some footage to show y'all regarding what was happening up there in Altadena, Pasadena. And we're going to continue on with some more. All right, Lord willing. But I'm going to close out there, man. I want to give all praise, honor, glory to the Most High, Yahweh Shai, man. The water for y'all for staying up with me, tapping in. Always remember, in closing, fear the Most High, keep the commandments, don't shoot the messenger.